James Mullins, these two wines are next from the producer Dracena. They're Cabernet Franc from Paso Robles, both 2018 vintages. Stay tuned and I'll give you some thoughts and perspectives of these wines. And Paso Robles 2018 vintage, 14.4% ABV, by the way. This is, I believe, at $34 suggested retail price point. So we discovered the Dracena tree, better known as a Draco tree, while searching for a living memorial to honor their beloved Weimaraner dog, Draco. And so it's a nice touch and a nice memorial to their dog. And, just really beautiful, gorgeous captures of Cabernet Franc. And Lori Budd and her husband, Michael, are creating this wine. And the voice of the producer, the voice of the wine, the handles on Twitter, I'll put that information down below, of course. So when I look at Paso Robles, it's really a treasure trove of varieties, and they're not done somewhat well, they're done very well in all the varieties that are produced and the wines I've tasted from the region itself. And so I think that Lori's done an exceptional job of bringing wine journalists together like myself on the 4th of December to talk about Cabernet Franc Day. This is a well-crafted bottle of Cabernet Franc, well-developed, nicely sculpted, and really great capture of what this magical grape can do. So black fruit, suede, stacked wood, autumnal forest, cardamom, and dried red rose petal. Next is the palate characterization. So the palate on this is red black fruit, zippy acidity, additional notes of espresso and fresh thyme. This wine is 92 points out of 100 points. I'll put more information on where you can purchase this wine. That's assuming that you live in a state that can receive wines from California. So this is from the Plummer Vineyard in Paso Robles. And I thought, how are these going to be different? And yet they were characterized differently. And so I thought to myself, what are the defining characteristics? And that's really obviously in the experience of the wine itself. So this is, I think, more complex in many ways than the non-reserve wine. But it really encapsulates this almost a very Chinon-esque characteristic label. And you can tell this is a reserve wine compared to the non-reserve because that's a white background. This is a gold background. And 14.1% ABV back label for you to look at here. An exceptional bottle of wine. And I think it's just really speaking praises of Paso Robles fruit. And again, there's nothing to think negatively about Paso Robles fruit, but I think it just really is exquisite, just so compelling and beautiful. I think people are appreciating Cabernet Franc than ever before. I would say a generation ago, people were not finding Cabernet Francs, maybe weren't really seeking them out because producers weren't creating them, at least in the new world. And so now that's much more common today. I would say common, but it's much more findable, if you will. And I think that's a really good thing because yourself, myself, we get to taste what Cabernet Franc tastes like alone by itself. And I think that's a really important feature because that's how I think, how our palates are. We all have different palates and characterizations and likes and dislikes, but it's really nice to get that capture and experience on the palate as well as the nose. So let's go with the nose first. Very, very rich characterization. I very much enjoy the boysenberry. So compared to the non-reserve wine, the boysenberry note is very evident. Boysenberry, if you're asking, is a cross between a blackberry and a raspberry. And it has such a distinctive nose. It's absolutely gorgeous. So additional notes on this are bay leaf, suede, leathery notes, and violets, fresh violets. Outstanding. Next, the palate characterization. So this wine is giving a palate of black fruit, red pepper, clove, dried thyme, and ground simmering spices. This is a 93-point wine out of 100 points. And so these wines are really outstanding, beautiful captures of Cabernet Franc anywhere in California. It's fantastic to taste varietally labeled wines. Cabernet Franc from California. The non-reserve is $34 and the reserve wine is $45. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Let's stay connected between videos. You'll find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and WordPress, and my podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you soon. Santé.